With severe weather possible tonight and tomorrow morning, the National Weather Service in Norman wants to get you prepared now. They posted this simple checklist to Twitter today. Make sure your shelter is cleaned out, you have flashlights and batteries, and have a plan ready for your family. Now, heavy rain in the forecast brings the potential risk for flooding tomorrow on our roads.
And this will especially affect your morning commute. Fox 25's Connor Hansen joins us now live. So, Connor, how deep does the water have to be to affect vehicles?
Mike, Wendy, it really depends on what kind of car you have, but once that floodwater gets up right about here to the top of your wheel well, that's when you're going to start having some serious problems. During flash flooding events, firefighters are kept busy rescuing people from floodwaters and sometimes from their cars. First responders say what might look like a small amount of water could be deadly.
More deaths occur each year from flooding than any other thunderstorm-related event. And over half of those deaths each year are contributed to vehicles in high water. 6
inches of water is enough to knock an adult off their feet. A foot can move some vehicles, and 2 feet can wash away trucks and SUVs. Captain David Macy says there are some things you should keep in mind if you're traveling through heavy rain.
It's important for them to remember that there is some low-lying areas across our city that flood. And we want them to be familiar with those areas, be familiar with the areas that they're in and where they're traveling, have some secondary routes to get to where they're going, never to drive through high water. If they see barricades, turn around.
If you do end up driving through water deeper than your car can handle, there could be more damage than you think.
There's so much that you can't see under the hood. The engine, the braking systems, the fuel system, all of those things are damaged by water.
And depending on your insurance, you might not be covered.
Comprehensive insurance coverage is the type that covers flooding damage to your car. That is not required by our state, so it is something extra, and not everyone pays for that insurance.
Those repairs could cost you thousands of dollars. Now, the fire department repeated the mantra to us today: turn around, don't drown. Mike?
Good stuff, Connor. Thank you. Now, with strong winds also in the forecast, AAA is reminding drivers to keep their distance from high-profile vehicles like trucks, RVs, and large trailers.
Now, your Fox 25 Storm Watch forecast from the Reynolds Ford Weather Center.
Good evening, everybody. It's about to be very stormy and very windy tonight and tomorrow. We even had a wave of strong and heavy thunderstorms earlier this afternoon. Let's go ahead and take a peek at Storm Watch Doppler 1. This big round produced a whole lot of lightning. No severe weather. Now that big wave of showers and thunderstorms is way up into Kansas. And right now, all across Oklahoma, it's cloudy, it's foggy, it's drizzly. It's going to stay that way for the next few hours up until midnight. A lot of foggy and drizzly spots like it's been mostly all day. And then after midnight, that's when that big strong line of thunderstorms starts rumbling in here. So between midnight and 3, that line of strong, possibly severe thunderstorms moving through western Oklahoma. That line comes into central Oklahoma and Oklahoma City between 3 and 6 o'clock in the morning. Your main threats will be damaging winds up to 80 miles an hour, maybe some small hail. And all these showers start to move east of I-35 by 7 o'clock. But around 6 or 7, scattered showers are still possible here in Oklahoma City and central parts of the state. I think the strong and heavy storms will be east of I-35, and by 9 or 10, all the wet and stormy weather far eastern Oklahoma. Skies start to clear out, and man, those winds really get cranking, even for Oklahoma. So overnight, your chance of severe weather happens to be very low to slight, mostly in west and southern Oklahoma. Damaging winds and hail are going to be the main concerns. So we're talking about hail, very small, peas, pennies, dimes, that kind of thing. But winds could go all the way up to 70 to 80 miles an hour, very damaging. And then when all the thunderstorms move through tomorrow morning, the winds get cranking. Again, these are non-severe thunderstorm winds. They're going to be blowing just pretty much all day, sustained at 30 to 40, maybe even 50 miles an hour, gusts between 50 and 70. And yes, that will do some damage. So we'll talk about those high wind impacts, your below average temperatures most of this week, and very chilly mornings coming up in your Storm Watch 7 day in just a little bit.